right. My name is Alexander Glustrom, Alexander Glustrom, and I'm one of the artists here that painted here at Exhibit B. I grew up in Atlanta, inner city Atlanta, and so in the area that I grew up in, there was a lot of graffiti. So since I was a little kid, I've always been kind of obsessed with graffiti and the writing on the wall. And I guess from a really little kid, I've always been fascinated by it. And then some of the older kids in the neighborhood let me be the lookout at first. And so I started out hiding in the bushes, and they wouldn't let me paint when I was young, you know, so I was just hiding in the bushes and whistle when a car would come. And I got a little older and they let me paint, and from then it's kind of become an obsession for me, I guess you could say. Yeah, I've been caught. Everybody's been caught a couple times, I guess. You know, we've had it run a couple times, but you know, the first time I ever painted anything, I went out by myself. I was pretty young, you know, and I didn't tell any older kids I was going out to paint. I was like, I'm just gonna go do it by myself. First time I ever put anything on the wall, I'm gonna see what happens. So I snuck out of that house pretty late at night and went into this little parking deck that was near my house. I went down to the bottom floor of the parking deck and I started painting this wall, and it was terrible. And I was like heartbroken, because I had already decided that I really like graffiti culture, and I really decided I wanted to be a painter, and I had drawn on every one of my notebooks, and the first time I picked up a spray can, I was just terrible. So I went home like really defeated, you know, almost in tears. But then I went back the next night and kept working on it, and the next night, and that one little piece in that parking deck I worked on for about a week until it was decent, even though it was still terrible. And then I just kept painting from there, and eventually the older kids let me start to paint with them, and went from there. I came to New Orleans for school. And then I'm here as a filmmaker. I make documentary films. I just made a documentary film about a charity hospital called Big Charity that premiered at the New Orleans Film Fest. And so I've kind of taken my painting likings and skills and moved them more towards photography and video as a career.
And how long have you been doing that?
I mean, since I was in high school and they let me borrow the camera, I would walk around, and that was when I first started filming things. And then when I was in college, I bought a little camcorder and started filming, and then used that camcorder to make videos, to buy a better video camera and a better video camera, and it just kind of went from there.
Are you part of any organizations here in New Orleans?
I mean, I've taught at a number of different programs. I was at the Boys and Girls Club in the Iberville for a couple years, and the Boys and Girls Club by the Calliope for about a year. And that even as a student, you know, I was always a part of the real world. I wasn't really too much caught up in the little bubble of campus life like some students were. But after graduating, you know, being a part of the New Orleans community, even more so, not as much as a student, but as a resident, as someone here to stay, I think it's been a really good thing for me, and I think I've been very blessed to have the opportunities that I've had and meet the people I have, and you know, be a part of a project like this is just incredible. I got a lot of respect for Brandon and everything he's done. He's someone I look up to, and so for him to ask me to be a part of this is an honor.
So did you seek to be a part of it, or he actually reached out to you and actually?
He reached out to me. But we painted on projects together before, and so when he told me he was doing this, he reached out to me and asked me to be a part of it.
Okay. Give me a little bit of explanation about the painting that you did here.
So I painted this face. It's a half skull, half female face, and the entire theme of our building is kind of life and death, and it's about the cycle of life and death, and it's fitting for this place because we're kind of bringing life back to it. You know, I mean, we've been coming here painting for a long time, but there's never been anything like this. It's always been a very solitary, quiet, isolated space. So, you know, this art has really brought life to it, not only on the wall representing life and death, but actually the act of painting it has brought all these people out here and has brought life to this, you know, what was a dead, abandoned apartment complex.
Okay, so being a part of this project, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel honored, you know, I feel proud. It's a really cool thing to be a part of, and it's very interesting to see people out here who never would have a chance really to come to a space like this and appreciate street art in a way that they wouldn't really have a chance to otherwise. And I think maybe it'll open some people's eyes as to the talent that some of the street artists have in this city. You know, I think a lot of people like to write off the street art in the city. It's just, you know, little kids tagging on walls and stuff, but it'll let them know that, you know, there's artists out here that are really talented.
Okay, what's some of the places that we can see some of your work? Social media places, or do you have your work in any type of gallery?
Yeah, so I've done a number of like commission murals. I don't really do canvases or anything, but I did a mural at a bar called Gasa Gasa uptown. I did a 28-foot mural there. I painted a 50-foot long mural at the Nola Brewery at their headquarters, and I've just done different commission murals around the city.
Okay, as far as social media sites, where can we see more of your work or get in contact?
I guess on my Instagram is Antonio Guacamole.
Okay, can you spell that for us?
ANTONIOGUACAMOLE.
Okay, do you have a Facebook page?
Yeah, but I kind of keep my art a little bit separate from the Facebook.
Okay, Okay, so the main place everyone can see your work is on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay, if you can sum up art, how it is to you, in 3 sentences, what would you say?
Art is anything that can cause an emotional reaction in somebody, something that makes people feel something. That's what art is. You know, art is self-expression. It's something for the artist to be a creative outlet for them to release emotions and then feed them right back into people when they look up at the piece.